Chapter 2. The shuttle from Santa Fe to the launch site in the San Juan National Forest near Durango takes less than 2 hours. A half hour of that time was filled with a speech from Dad, explaining to Javier and me how we needed to stop squabbling, be kind, and work kind. It seemed weird to me that the government specifically chose the Colorado forest instead of a military base. But when I see the secluded world and kilometers of dense forest, I understand. Even three massive interstellar colonization ships meant for the exodus of Earth could get lost out here. Playday's Corp designed these luxury vessels to take rich people across the galaxy in comfort. I'd seen their mega screen advertisement along hoverways showing a ship's 5 stars hotel interior. Chandeliers with Flying Corp's signature color were purple, illuminating the faces of actors in fancy clothes, holding martini glasses and smiling as they stared out at a fake nebula. A man with a voice like he gargled avocado oil each morning speaking over twinkling piano music played his corporation, imagining what you thought interstellar travel would be, luxury living among the stars reserved for the adventurous elite. I think of what the ships are now. Those people on the mega screen with the bleached-toothed smiles are nothing like us. Scientists, terraformers, and leaders of the government thought deserved to live more than others. And how did my family make the cutoff? How did this government politician choose? What if mom and dad had been older? How many of these politicians got a fast pass? It feels wrong to be sneaking up Earth while so many are left behind. I don't even inform my parents of our destination until the day before. Dad/slash Plaintiff had been storing their ships in a massive underground facility at the old Denver airport. They weren't supposed to leave Earth on their first official trip for another 2 years. The median test flights into nearby space a few months earlier had been successful, but because we are now leaving so suddenly, this will be the first interstellar journey. If a solar flare hadn't shifted the comet of course a week earlier, we'd watching Firesnake harmlessly pass Earth in a few days like it has since the beginning of time. The departure facility isn't more than an old converted ranger station beyond some gates to the national park. I try not to think about what I saw at the front entrance. From the station we are instructed to take a trail into the forest with other passengers. More families gather just behind ours, waiting for their turn to hike to the ship. The glow of aspen and pine trees filter the sunlight like the Jonah and the whale stained glass panel at church. I jump at the outburst of baby bird chirps above their head. I look up to see a mommy bird swallow cedar from her nest for more food. The baby's trips go quiet as soon as she leaves. The mama bird doesn't know all her work is a waste of time. I train my narrow vision on the tiny head peeking over the edge of the nest. At first, I feel sorry for them, so small and defenseless. But then I realize, in a way, the birds are the lucky ones. They'll never know what hit them. We continue to the ship along the path that we could be any hiking trail. It's the least official final exodus of Earth you could imagine. My parents told me that cheddar tracking showed too many fringe and conspiracy groups suspecting something was up out there here. Turns out they were right. My little brother, Javier, skids to the stop when we emerged from the camouflage of the cedar canopy to an open field of green. A monstrous ship resembling a stainless steel and crystal praying mantis comes into view. Petra, he clenched my wrist. At the opposite end of the field sees an exact replica of our ship. So far away, it looks half the size of the behemoth in front of us. With only 2 ships left, I know one is already gone. That said, they lost contact when the final ping came as they approached Alpha Centauri. It's okay, I urge Javier, even though I wanna run back into the forest too. I think of Lita and my teachers and my classmates, and I wonder what they are doing right now. I don't wanna imagine them being so afraid they try to hide from something they can't hide from. Instead, I picture Lita and Tia Berta lying under the red and black fringed blanket, drinking coffee with circuit sauce as they watch the niggle snake come home. Berta, this is the time to be stingy. Lita would tip the brown glass bottle, pouring rich liquor of the same color into her coffee cup. I suppose you're right, Tia Berta replies, but we won't have another Christmas to keep this for. Lita will make an even big, bigger pour into Tia Berta's cup. They'll clink their clay mugs, take a long drink, and lean back shoulder against Tia Berta's 100-year-old pecan tree. This is the story my mind will keep of them. Before my parents were chosen, lots of people had already started looting. When I asked Mom why they bothered, when all that stuff would be gone soon, her eyes filled with tears. People are afraid. They'll do things they never thought they were capable of. We're in no position to judge anyone. I still don't understand how some people are so calm and others are rioting. I was supposed to feel happy my parents were chosen to go to new planet, Sagan, but I feel like I've been given the last glass of water on Earth and I'm just gulping it down while everyone watches. I look up at the comet and wince. I hate you. Like ants on the ordinary march to our hole, my family and I walk quietly across a grass field with several scientists and one other family with a blonde teenager. As we get closer, instead of the cement commercial launch pad I expect, there's just freshly cut grass. Mom speak quietly. You won't even know any time has passed when we are up here. There's nothing to be nervous about. But when I look over, I catch her scrunching her eyes tight and shaking her head like that will somehow make this all go away. And then we arrive to Sagan, she continues. We'll be start over, like on a farm. There'll be others around your age. She can make this better. I don't want any new friends ever again. I even had to set Reputo loose behind Lita's house. Maybe my tortoise will somehow survive the comets deep within his burrow and live out his life without me. This is stupid, I mumble. Maybe I should just tell them about my eyes so they won't last on the ship. Mom and Dad exchange a glance. Mom takes me by the elbow, pulls me aside. She smiles at the other family as they pass. What are you doing, Petra? I feel tears rising up. What about Lita? It's like you don't even care. Mom closes her eyes. I can't tell you how hard it is for all of us. She lets out a breath and then looks at me. I'm sorry for how this is hurting you, but this is not the time. When will be the time? I say too loudly. Hundreds of years from now, when she's already gone? The blond boy, now ahead of us, glances back. His mother elbows him, and he turns back around. Petra, we can't know exactly what will happen. Mom glances vertically at the other family. She grabs her braid and twists its end in her hand. I think you're lying. Mom glances at Dad and lays her hand on my arm. This is moment, Petra. The world does not revolve around you. Have you thought of how others might be feeling? I must say the word might not be revolved at all anyone anymore when my arm vibrates. I look over and see Mom is trembling. She points back in the direction we came. Did you notice the people waiting outside the gates? I look away. I don't want to remember the woman pulling off her wedding ring and pushing her baby forward toward the armed guard. Please, please, she mouthed over and over as we drove right through the gates. Just like the tracking had predicted, that young family and hundreds of others had somehow figured out the government was hiding something out here. They they they'd give anything to be on board with us. Mom leans down, her eyes boring into mine. Do you wanna leave? I think of the mom with her baby, and if I never saw Dad or Mom or Javier again. No, I answer, A woman and a young girl approach holding hands. The girl has a silver spurred horn jutting out the top of her head from her hoodie. As they pass, she makes an obvious head turn and stares at me suspiciously. Suma Teach, her mom whispers, and the girl looks away. Mom glances in their direction, and know they, I know she's seen them watching us too. So, can you please keep your opinions to yourself for now? Mom walks ahead and marches right past Dad and Javier. Dad raises his eyebrows at me and motions with his head. And with that, I know even he's had enough. Javier runs back to me, nearly tripping on a rug on the path. He falls into me and I pull him to a stand. He takes my hand. It's okay, he says, just like I had to him moments earlier. This time, he urged me along. It, I take a deep breath as we approach the entrance ramp of the praying mantis ship. Its front end, the size of a soccer field, looms over us. Windows around the front section look like its mouth cracked open, bearing long teeth between top of its head and bottom of its jaw. Two hind legs hinge onto the field, anchoring in place. In the distance, tiny specks enter the belly of the other bug ship, set to leave shortly after us. Xavier points to a ring-like compartment at the back of our ship. Is that where we will be? He asks. Dad nods. It's bigger than my school, Xavier whispers. Yeah, my mom fake smiles like she's trying to convince him we're going to Disneyland again. Very few ships can carry so many people so far away. And we'll be asleep? He asks. Just like a nap, Mom says. The nap and what it'll give us is the only bright spot. Not unlike Javier's 30-minute cat naps, this sleep will last 380 years.